In a story that I believe has gone international by now, but happened right here in Fort Worth, while shoplifting 4 DVDs from Walmart on Saturday, a Fort Worth man probably did not expect to be brought to justice by Batman. But that's exactly what happened.
All right, I missed this story.
It just came out today. Fort Worth police officer and listener of the Russ Martin Show, Damon Cole, dresses up as superheroes for a good cause.
How do you know he's a listener?
Because I've talked to him.
Oh, all right.
And I tagged him in the post with this story earlier today. He said, I dress up as many different superheroes, and I travel the country in my off time seeing children with cancer and other illnesses. I do that to give them inspiration and hope to keep fighting. He was dressed as Batman at a kids' safety fair on Saturday when he was alerted to a man suspected of shoplifting 4 movies. He said that Batman says, I want you to know I have this Batman costume on, but I'm an off-duty police officer. That's according to Anthony Drake, a Walmart community involvement member. That's what he said.
Which Batman does he dress up as?
He's got, I believe it's the more current Dark Knight versions. He's got a few different costumes, though. It's Damon Cole. He's got an Iron Man. He's got a Hulk costume where the ripped shirt actually says Fort Worth Police on it. His Batman costume actually has a Fort Worth Police badge on it as well. I mean, he goes all out. His car is a tricked out Superman ride.
I'm not seeing any pictures.
What did you search?
Damon Cole.
Try superhero cop.
Got it.
There you go. Since the DVDs...
That looks like the Ben Affleck Batman outfit.
It may be. That's what I'm saying. It's like he's constantly tweaking these, so with the new one that came out, it may be that version. Since the DVDs amounted to less than $100, a suspect was just given a citation. But, of course, the suspect did not want to talk about his arrest, but he did take a selfie with Batman after, being arrested. The irony of the situation is that he was attempting to steal the Lego Batman movie.
What a dumb.
To which Officer Damon Cole said, "You cannot steal my movie." Sorry, that just cracks me up. And if you're curious, there's actually a photo of him giving the guy a citation.
I found that
you
picture.
See it?
Yeah.
I imagine the thought bubble right there is Officer Cole telling him, like it says in the story, it's like, all right, I may look like Batman, but I'm a cop. So I got to write you up.
See, why does he decide to dress up?
Because he travels around the country visiting sick kids.
Okay. So he just happened to be at Walmart?
Yes, he was there for a safety fair on Saturday.
Okay. Criminals beware. There's a... What website is this? I think this one's out of Houston. But I believe it's still Officer Ramon Cole.
Yes.
So he hits the whole state. I might have to drive him around in the Batmobile.
I'm sure
that would
he
be
would.
Cool.
He would get a kick out of that.
He should. It's the Batmobile. The Lego Batman movie?
Yeah.
I got to ask, just if somebody's stealing it, is it any good?
All the Lego movies are really good. You would actually like them. I know they're targeted toward kids, but they have like adult lines in them that you would really enjoy.
Okay.
There's Officer Cole in his Iron Man outfit talking to a classroom of kids.
It's pretty big. I'm not trying to be gay. That's a pretty big cod piece. You see it?
Oh, you can't miss it.
And how long has he been doing this?
Actually, I don't know how long he's been doing it, but I would say a couple of years. So what he does is he uses his vacation time to go and visit terminally ill children around the country.
I found his website. It's Heroes and Cops Against Childhood Cancer.org.
It's a good photo of him dressed as the Hulk.
I'll read part of this. My name is Damon Cole. I'm a full-time police officer in Fort Worth, Texas. I've been a police officer since 1999 as a police officer. I've dealt with so many children over my career. Keep in mind, when I'm dealing with them as a police officer, it's not always in a good light. So I wanted to try and make a big impact on the children that I come in contact with at work. Every child should know that a police officer is always there to help through anything. The best way to get that message across is to build a trusting relationship with them. So around 13 years ago, I had the Superman logo sewed onto my bulletproof vest. That way, whenever I would deal with a child on a call for service, I would tell them a secret that they would have to promise they would tell nobody. So he's been doing it for 13 years. And you're right, he's doing it with his own dime.
Mm-hmm.
He's got outfits. He's got Superman, Iron Man, Batman, Spider-Man, Optimus Prime from the Transformers. I'd like to see that one work.
Sweet.
Captain America, the Incredible Hulk, Black Panther. Okay. Bumblebee from the Transformers.
Bumblebee. It's the yellow Camaro.
This says Bumblebee.
Well, that man's allowed a typo here and there.
Oh. The Hulk Buster, which is the Iron Man outfit, right?
Yeah.
Go to sleep. And Armored Batman, which to me looks like the Ben Affleck costume.
Yeah, he says he's got the Dawn of Justice Batman, Dark Knight Batman, and the armored Batman suits.
The last line on his What We Do page. This is my mission statement. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Damon Cole. So, anytime you have issues with police officers, you can go and search on the internet. There are many that go way beyond just their normal job.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this isn't even above and beyond the Call of Duty. I mean, this is outside the realm of duty.
And he has a GoFundMe page. But it says no longer accepting donations. I wonder why he'd stop.
Mm-hmm.
On his GoFundMe page, looks like he's had it for a couple of years.
It looks like he's been visiting the terminally ill children for about 4 years.
You know what his goal on GoFundMe was?
Mm-mm.
$1. He raised $30,000.
I'm guessing that's why he probably closed it.
I travel the country in my custom 2012 Batman Superman Dodge Charger. All right, so he's got his own car. He don't need me.
No, actually, he really wants to ride in the actual one.
How do you know?
I'm assuming his OMG yes message to me a few minutes ago was in reference to you saying going to ride in the Batmobile.
Okay. All right, we got a break here, don't we?
Yes.
Another one of those fantastic segments in the can.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. We're back to the Russ Martin Show.
I was doing traffic. I didn't hear you. Don't want who?
Fort Worth Police Officer Damon Cole.
Okay.
He's off duty, so. Not that it usually stops most police officer friends of ours.
Yeah. I'd be curious. First of all, I know why he's doing what he does. He goes and visits sick children, or not just sick children, children that are dying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious why he stopped taking donations.
Maybe it was just that specific thing. Maybe there's somewhere else that he's got.
Is that him, Alfie?
That is him on the hotline for you.
Is he does he have a rank? Is he sergeant?
I believe he's Officer Damon Cole.
Officer Cole?
Yes, sir.
How are you, boss?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm dandy. What made you, I got wanting to help out children that are dying. What made you pick this 13 years ago? Did you lose someone?
No, sir. It's just wanted to make a difference.
You're a cop. You make a difference. And I'm not just kissing your ass. Well, yeah, I am.
Well, 13 years ago is when I started doing with the Superman logo on my chest, on my bulletproof vest, just to help build up a better rapport. Because unfortunately, a lot of kids were scared of us because everything starts at home. And, not everybody has a good support system at home. So when they deal with us, it might not always be in a positive light. So I wanted to show these kids that, hey, not all cops are bad, and we are here to help you, and we really are.
And it's funny, when I was a kid, which probably was before you were born, that's always we knew to go to a police officer. There was never any question, never any doubt. It was that was the real superhero that you knew they were going to help you regardless. And it's just too bad with just the advent of more news outlets and social media and everything else. You got cop haters that didn't used to have a voice that are out there now. So it's sad that you have to go out and fix that image.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And, I can only do my part, what I can to make a difference. And I actually started dressing up as superheroes about 4 years ago when I worked for Dallas PD.
How long have you been in Fort Worth?
2 years.
So even though it's not the current Batmobile, you all right going for a ride in the 66 Batmobile?
Are you kidding? I actually took a picture with my daughter when you had Russ Martin Automotive. I've been in many of your Heroes Parades when you used to do those. I actually was on your show back in 2004 when you had J.D. Ryan in studio. I've been following you forever. So
that was a mistake.
But I would be honored, sir. I'd be honored.
Okay. Well, we certainly. I think I can. What, Dan?
No.
Oh, I can make that happen.
So would you both dress up as your respective Batman?
We will not. He can dress up his Batman. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", sir.
Yeah, he could fit. What do you weigh?
About 215.
I think he could fit in my 66 Batman costume.
Russ, you're the real Batman, not me.
Quit it.
You definitely are the real Batman.
He's got the tights to prove it.
that I can't get into anymore.
Oh, they're stretchy. You could fit.
Blow me. I've told this story before. I know that a lot of officers feel like they go out every day and there's just not any appreciation. Last July 7th, when we lost the 5 Dallas officers.
Yes, sir.
Our listeners, first of all, I knew we were screwed. I knew we didn't have enough money in the foundation because I like to send out $35,000 the next day. I thought, well, I'm going to have to sell some stuff. I'll just put money in there. The listeners lost their minds in the course of 24 hours and got enough money not only to cover the 5 officers, but within a few weeks, maybe a month, we went from having $90,000 in the foundation to what I thought we were going to have nothing. And then after sending out 5 checks, we still had $600,000 left. That's how much they raised on their own.
Russ, that's because of you. I know you never take credit for it.
No.
And I know you don't, but it's because of you. You're the one that started that foundation, and you're the power and the voice behind it. And I can't thank you enough. Like, I love Dan, Chloe, all that. I mean, y'all are awesome.
But
y'all, I'm telling you, y'all are awesome. I appreciate it.
But they all work as hard, sometimes harder on the foundation than I do. The reason I brought that up was you've got to know that there's support out there because leaving the foundation with $600,000, we've never had, collectively, I don't think we've ever had that much. So it's you have to know that the support is out there. Don't ever think that everybody out there is against you because they're not.
Oh, I don't. I don't, sir. I mean, I take the positive aspect of it. I mean, I'm responsible for my own happiness, and so I'm determined to go out here and make a difference every day and know there are people that do appreciate us, and we are in a thankless job, but that's just part of it. But it is worth it whenever you do have good moments and someone recognizes that, whatever the case may be, because there's tons of officers across the nation doing an outstanding job daily.
Why did you stop taking donations on the GoFundMe?
I actually started a nonprofit because I never envisioned what I do going to see kids with cancer would take off like it has. And so I could not financially keep – I never solicited my GoFundMe. I never posted on any of my social media saying, hey, please donate to my cause.
Well, I said your goal was $1.
Well, it was. the only reason I even started is my sergeant in Dallas at the time pulled me in and was like, you need to do a GoFundMe. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then he stayed on me, so I did it. And it helped me go buy capes and teddy bears and stuff like that to give to the kids when I go see them. But my mission has turned into going to see one kid in Smithton, Illinois, back when I was at Dallas PD. It started it all. And now I've been to 17 states. And my goal is to go to all 50 in Canada, and I'll go further if I can. And I've actually found a place in Ohio that's going to build me the 1989 Batmobile. And that's my goal.
Awesome.
All right. That almost trumps mine.
No, nothing will ever trump you or yours, but I'm trying to, I want to have a big impact on these kids I go see, because what I do, because my suits have to look realistic, because kids don't have a filter and they will call you out. And so
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the delay, but I'm going to say this anyway. Yeah, I'm sure you have someone. All right, nobody heard that but us. Yeah, I can see them being. I'm not pissy, but their attention to detail.
Blunt.
Yeah, especially you're going to visit kids in a hospital where I was in a hospital for only a couple of weeks. It wasn't a lot of fun, and these kids are stuck in there. I guess forever. So how you take that emotional beating, I don't know how. I don't know how you struggle through it.
Well, I'm blessed to have a 10-year-old healthy daughter, Savannah, and that's how I'm able to keep doing it, because I've seen the impact I've had on these families. Because what I do is I go see these kids, and they'll, like you said, their attention detail is crazy, and they'll ask me, "You're not really Batman. You don't sound like Batman." And I'm like, "Only do the voice when I'm fighting crime." And then what I do is they always ask me, "Well, how are you Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk? How are you all these superheroes?" And I go, "Well, I'll tell you the secret. In real life," I said, "in movies, they make it look like all these superheroes are their own person. But in real life, it's just one of us." And then their next question is, "Well, can you show me some superpowers?" And I'm like, "I would love to, but unfortunately I can't, because if I show it off, I'll get it taken away. Because with great power comes great responsibility. So I can only use that when I'm fighting crime."
So you lie.
And they're like, "Oh."
Yeah, because it's not like in their hospital room. You can't slap them around. Did that feel like a superhero?
Yeah, and you can't use the Iron Man repulsor thing and sit in their bed across the room.
Go to sleep.
No. So I had armbands made, and I give it to them, and I tell them it has superpowers on it. And I tell them, this is going to help you beat cancer or help you beat the illness you're fighting. There's only one thing you got to do. And they're like, "Well, what's that, Batman?" And I'm like, "You can't give up. You got to keep fighting for me." And believe it or not, that's had such a big impact on kids. Like, there's a little boy named Matthew. He was 10 years old. He was dying of brain cancer. His dream was to meet Batman. He was in a Midland hospital. The family contacted me on a Saturday morning. I learned of him, dropped everything I was doing, drove 6 hours to see him, got there around midnight. He had been bedridden the entire week. And I'll never forget this. They woke him up and said, "Hey, Matthew, Batman's here." And keep in mind, he has brain cancer, so he has no more energy. So apparently he had not been able to move or get out of bed the entire week. He uses all his energy to sit up with his family's help and to sit next to me and just spend a little time with me. And I'll never forget this. We lay him back down in the bed, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Batman, I'm sorry." And I said, "What are you apologizing for, buddy?" He goes, I would be smiling. I just don't have the energy."
Yeah, I haven't cried on the air in about a month or so. Just keep going.
So it really touched my heart. And I'll never forget, I left there and drove back to Fort Worth. And as soon as I got to Fort Worth, I got a phone call from his family saying he had passed away.
Oh, okay. There it is.
And so 2 weeks later, I drove back out to Fort Stockton, where they gave him a Batman funeral with a Batman casket, and I dressed as Batman and stood next to his casket the entire service to honor him, because he was a real hero, and he's definitely my hero. And that's why I do it, for kids like that, because I would lose my mind if that was my daughter. And if I can help bring some happiness and peace to the family, I'll do it.
Where is it people can donate?
I'm actually setting something up on my website through my bank, Wells Fargo, to do it since I'm a nonprofit now, to do it that way.
Okay. You'll get us the link when you're up and running.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I could say thank you. That ain't going to cover it.
Russ, you're just talking about me on the air. You have no idea. To me, this is a big deal. I don't care about the news or anybody else, but when the Russ Martin Show recognizes me, that's a big deal. And when Dan messaged me earlier, it is. I mean, it was a big deal. And Dan, I want to say thank you. I don't know if you remember, but when I worked at Dallas PD, Dan helped me do something for a very special autistic kid at Texas Rangers at the ballpark in Arlington. And the only reason that was very successful in getting to meet the players was because of Dan O'Malley. So thank you, Dan. I do appreciate that.
I told you, everybody on the show does something, except for Alfie.
They do.
No, I absolutely do remember that, Damon. I do, and you're welcome. And most of the thanks on that goes to Chuck Morgan and the Rangers.
Well, it was a team effort, and y'all were awesome. And you have no idea. The show's awesome. I mean, I just can't speak highly enough about Russ, and I know Russ doesn't like that. But
no. I'd like I'll wrap this up here. I'd like for Police and Fire to like the show because they like it and not because we're big supporters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sort of like a distraction for their daily grind.
Right. I'm not doing it for although I never
Russ,
fathom I could get out of tickets, but it's dandy.
Russ, you make all of us laugh. You have no idea. I'll never forget when you would have Chief Kunkel on the air, and you would talk smack to him. I remember you talking to him, asking him, "How come you don't let the officers, when they pull up on traffic accidents, beat the crap out of the people for blocking traffic for so long?" And he's like, "Russ, I can't answer that. Come on."
Yes,
I mean, it's just priceless.
Yeah, I used to hang out with Chief Kunkel all the time. I've told this story before. We went out. He liked to eat off the M streets?
Off of Greenville Avenue.
And we went to some Mexican restaurant, and he got some kind of spinach dip, and I made the mistake of sitting across from him. And as he's talking, he's hitting me with spinach. So the great spinach slinger Chief Kunkel.
That must have been Blue Goose.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Outside patio?
Yep.
I don't think they'd let him eat inside. All right. I got to run, boss, but you'll get us the link for your website. And if you want to come up one day, you're welcome.
I would be honored to.
Do we have your number?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get Alfie to call you and set it up.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for what you do.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Okay. I knew when he started talking about that kid who went to visit, this kid's going to die in this story.
Unfortunately, with most of the cases that Damon takes on, they do.
And I don't know how, and I'll wrap this up. I don't know how you find the fortitude to do that.
I don't either.
I mean, it's not the same thing, but I had to stop walking dogs for the animal shelter because it was hard for me just to put them back in the cage knowing, because sometimes I go to the Dallas animal shelter where they don't live forever.
Mm-hmm.
No, that could be the last time I saw the dog. As dealing with people, I don't know how he does it. Dick. I knew he was going to make me cry. Sorry, I felt the need to say that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we late?
Yes.
All right, last break.